Each year, 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness, and 17% of youth ages 6 to 17 experience a mental health disorder.
I joined NAMI because I have 2 sons that live with a mental illness, and I didn't want any other families to feel alone like I did.
At NAMI, the first thing we want anyone to know is you are not alone in your mental health journey.
I just really want to talk about so people know that you don't have to go through it alone.
NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, dedicated to building better lives for the millions of Americans affected by mental illness. We started as 2 moms, gathered around a kitchen table in 1979. And today, we are an alliance of more than 600 local affiliates and 48 state organizations who work in your community to raise awareness, build advocacy, and provide support and education. NAMI envisions a world where all people affected by mental illness live healthy, fulfilling lives supported by a community that cares. Every year we are expanding, no matter race, religion, age, or sexual identity. We are people with lived experience, families and loved ones, survivors and advocates, and together, we will fight the stigma surrounding mental health and create a better world for the sake of all of us. We have resources for you and can't wait to become an extension of your family. We are here for a healthier world. We are here for better mental health. We are here for each other. Join us.
Good morning. I'm Patty Yoder. I'm president of the National Alliance on Mental Illness here in Billings, and we're glad to be here this morning to talk about our fundraiser, NAMIWalks. And with me is Karen Marek. She is a longtime volunteer at NAMI Billings, and she is our chairperson for NAMIWalks. So Karen and I are just going to talk about something dear to our hearts. It's our fundraiser. It's our way of keeping us in business, as I would say. And so, Karen, can you kind of talk about what we're going to talk about today and kind of give an overview of that?
Sure. I've been involved with NAMI for about 20 years and pretty intensely involved when we were doing fundraisers such as the NAMIWalks, galas, those kinds of things. And they were great fundraisers, but it was hard to get a lot of volunteers. Our volunteers that we have are amazing, but they are teaching our classes, they're facilitating our groups. And so we started to kind of look at maybe a different way to raise money for NAMI Billings, and that was through NAMI Montana. NAMI Montana is our state organization that we are a part of, and they have a huge walk that they started in 2004 is the first time they did the walk, and they do it in conjunction with our national organization that started the walks in 2002. And the goals are very simple of these walks. They are to promote public awareness of mental health, to reduce stigma, to raise money for NAMI's free, top-rated mental health programs, and to build community, and to let people know we're all in this together. And in that process, we're also doing something that's good for us, going for a walk. And so the walk up in Helena has given us a platform to raise money that doesn't take a huge army of volunteers. Our main goal is asking people to sponsor us or getting some major corporate sponsors to sponsor us up in Helena and to do the walk.
So talk a little bit about how we go about setting up our goals for the walk and how we get our board. I'd like just for people to know how we get our board involved in what we're doing, and if you could just talk about our process a little bit.
Right. Well, when we first started doing it, we got involved in the NAMIWalks program in 2015, 2016. And periodically, I think people would go up and walk in it. It's just a very exciting, way to share something in common with a lot of people. And the community of Helena just comes out in groves for it. And then we started trying to figure out, well, how do we raise money for it then? And so we started asking people to sponsor us at the walk. And then we thought we need to get corporate sponsors too. So we're trying to explain to people how this works. We get a certain amount of money back. We have to write all our checks to NAMI Montana because they are providing us with the platform, with the volunteers. They collect all the money and put it in one big pot. So we have affiliates also, like in Great Falls, in Bozeman, Missoula, Kalispell. All of these affiliates also raise money. And then NAMI Montana has a certain formula, and we get a large chunk of what we bring to the walk back. And we're good with that because NAMI Montana does a lot of things for all of the affiliates. They provide training for our teachers and our facilitators. They provide materials. We get nice notebooks when you take a class at NAMI Billings that outlines a lot of information about mental health and mental concerns, and a resource guide. Where do you go for help? And they provide all of that information to us. They even pay us to go to Helena to get trained because it's really quite professional. What we have are people that are well trained. No, it's not we fly by the seat of our pants. We have research-based programs. And does that answer your question?
It does, because
Patty?
I think what people need to understand is that we are a team coming together from the national level, which has written all the programming, and it's all research based, and it's well put together. And then the state of the Montana NAMI brings us to Helena. They train those that want to be facilitators of groups or of the education programs, and they train us very well so that when we come back to our affiliates, we are very well equipped to do the programming, which NAMI is so well known for, and that's for our education to people that have a mental health condition and to their family members who care for them. And that's both for the classes and for the support groups, and we're very passionate about those two things. That's what we're all about, and the best thing is that those programs are free to people. They don't pay us anything for doing that. We just want them to come. We want to make sure that they live very, very productive, healthy lives. So that is what I was, and you did very well in explaining that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you were talking about the platform. NAMIWalks has a platform. Would you want to just review that a little bit again, what the platform is?
I guess what I will say, each year we've tried to make a goal for our affiliate. And each year we've tried to do it reasonable. We don't want to make our goal so pie in the sky, it won't happen. And we made our goal this year $30,000. I think last year our goal was 25. And so, COVID, and I think as everyone knows, COVID was really tough on nonprofits, on our classes, on everything. And so we're really getting a lot of stuff going and really busy getting people trained and offering our classes. We also do community presentations to help businesses or churches or providers kind of help them understand more about mental health issues and what are some ways to best interface and make everybody's life a little bit easier. So our goal this year is 30,000, and we now have quite a nice sized board, and our board members are helping us by getting corporate sponsorships. And then we have another little line where we as individuals, it's kind of getting a sponsor, sponsoring us for the walk. And we take anything, $1, $5.
Yeah.
Our corporate sponsorships are $2.50 and above.
Right.
And they really help. NAMI Montana has been so grateful for what we have done to try to help grow NAMI Montana as well. So we are now in the process of trying to ask our friends and our family for monies. We're out asking businesses and corporations. So if you happen to be listening and you think that this might be something you'd like to help us out with, we'd love it.
We sure would. We would love to have you partner with us because we really feel that what we do is there's no other organization in Billings that does what NAMI Billings does in providing education and support to those with a mental illness and for their families.
And you know, Patty, I don't know if I feel like people need to know the reason I'm involved is because I have a family member who lives with mental illness. And my mom and I took Family to Family, which is one of our premier education classes to help family members understand and maybe be more positive in helping their loved one kind of deal with all the obstacles.
Yeah. I have a daughter that has a mental illness, and my husband and I and her husband, we took the class. And you know, it just really was so helpful in helping us to understand all the aspects of what was going on with our daughter, but also all the aspects that go on as a family member, and helping us to learn how to better navigate that and how to communicate with her. And so it was just one of those times that it really helped us to move forward in a very positive way in our relationship with her. So boy, any support to continue those classes and then the support groups are just absolutely essential.
Yes.
So can you kind of describe what happens on the day of the walk up in Helena? The walk is going to happen on Sunday, September the 18th up in Helena. And I have to look here where, I never can remember the name of the park, but it's close to Carroll College. It's at Memorial Park in Helena, Montana, right next to Carroll College. And so can you kind of explain what the day looks like? There's always a buzz going on when we're up there. It's a fun day.
There is a buzz. Yeah. They have a huge stage set up, and they have invited people from the Helena area who are providers, who are involved with not... someone said the other day, not everyone has mental illness, but everyone has mental health. And so a lot of those booths just have a lot of information about different organizations that help peers, that help family members, that help disabled people, and so they're busy setting that up. They have food booths. They have check-in where people are bringing their money to turn their money in, and usually they have a speaker talk to us to kind of get us motivated. One year I remember they had a Navy SEAL who spoke and lived with mental health issues and talked about what it was like and how he learned to manage that and live in recovery. So it's very hopeful. What we do is hopeful. And then all the football players from the high schools are there, and they're always there in full force. And then they have some gals come out, and get us all warmed up and turn on some real hip-hop music, and so the crowd is getting ready to do the walk. And it's not a timed walk, it's a leisure stroll, and you do it at your own pace, and you walk through the Carroll College campus, and then you come back and you talk to people along the way. You know, there many people from Helena come out and support it. So we try and tell them, well, we're from Billings and we came all this way because we really support what you're doing for mental health in Montana.
Right. So how long is the walk?
Well, I think the doors open. Well, there are no real doors, but people are getting set up about 11. About 12:30, I think, is when and those football players go up on the stage and try and help the girls get us going. And that usually is at 12:30. And then I would say the walk happens at 1. And it's usually, there's a short one and a longer one. And I think the shorter one is a mile, and the longer one might be 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
And, you know, some years it's been raining and we're walking with our umbrellas, and they have music along the way, and it's just a very, it's a very refreshing, uplifting walk to do.
It is.
Because when you do a walk that's timed, you know, you have the people are getting ready to run and you're getting out of their way, and so it's just very relaxing.
Yep. It is a very relaxing walk. And people are friendly, so it's fun to walk because if you're walking beside someone you don't know, it's very easy to strike up a conversation and you get to know what they're doing in their wherever they're from in Montana, because the different affiliates all seem to come to Helena, quite a few of them, and so you have different people from different parts of Montana there, so it's easy to have a conversation with them, which is really kind of fun to do. So I think it's about a 5K, isn't it? Is that about what it is?
Which is about 3 miles.
Is that what it is? Yeah. And you do whatever you can do, so it's any effort is great.
Yeah.
And there's no registration fee, so there's no cost to come. You just come and you walk and you do and enjoy the being outdoors. And one of the things that I really like is one of the things that we really stress. I do a support group for families. I'm one of the facilitators, and one of the things that we really talk about is how do we take care of ourselves. And we stress a lot in the support groups and also in the classes that walking or exercise or any of those kinds of things are absolutely so important for our mental health. And so I think one of the things with NAMIWalks is it really emphasizes one of the things that we teach in that of taking care of yourself, and that is exercise. And so it just pleases me that we're doing something that pertains to moving our bodies and
So
doing those kinds.
positive.
It's very positive, very, very positive. So anybody can come. We'd love people to come and walk on that Saturday.
Sunday.
Oh yeah, ooh,
It's
that
on
was
Sunday.
my error. It
That's
is on
okay.
Sunday. Glad you caught that.
Yeah.
So Sunday, September 18th.
18th.
Yep, at the Memorial Park in Helena. And if you're like us, we put it in our Google Maps, and it takes you right up there. So if you're not familiar with Helena at all, so. Mary Karen, are there other things that you're thinking that we need to talk about with NAMIWalks? I'm just looking here over my notes. So one of the things that I was thinking about, and we can have a discussion about it, what's the difference, what makes a mental health walk different? And maybe we've discussed it already, but we'll just discuss it again. What makes a mental health walk different than other walks or runs that you see they're all over Billings all the time. So how would you?
I think one of the biggest things is bringing awareness to it. It's not one of those hot topics that, 1 in 5 live with a diagnosable mental illness. But often, I know with my brother, we didn't know what was wrong with him for a long time because we didn't know about mental illness. I think it's becoming more and more known that it is an issue because of so many things going on in our country and the world.
Right.
And so I think people are more aware, but unless you've lived it, which all our volunteers have in one way or another, as a family member or as a person, it's kind of like you really don't know till you walk in those shoes what it's really like. So that walk brings all kinds of people where they feel comfortable, because they know that we get what's going on. And you know, I've always found it really interesting when you start talking about it, people will start asking you questions, because maybe it's become something in their family, but they don't know for sure, and they, you know, so I think part of it is that being open, and that walk is really kind of a public venue where we're being very open. And this is something that we're trying to destigmatize it, and that's something that tries to do it, so we know we're just normal people, you know, doing a walk, that have, it's like some people probably have heart disease, and some people are probably diabetic. Well, some of our people live with mental illness.
They do. Thank you. So if you would like to be a sponsor, a corporation or a person that would like to you know, sponsor us in our walk, or if you're an individual and you would like to give a donation towards the walk, the best way to do that is to go to NAMI Billings, all lowercase, NAMIBillings.org, and there's a little button that has the walk beside it, and you would just click on that, and that will take you, and it will instruct you how to go about giving a donation, or if you want to do a sponsorship, $250 or more, you can also do it on there. So that would be the way that you would be able to do that. One of the other things that I would just like to talk about briefly, and we've talked about it a lot this morning already, is the classes that we provide. And we provide those classes twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. And the two classes are the Family to Family, which is for family members who have a loved one that has a mental health issue or concern, and they come and they're taught as what it's like to be a person that daily, or sometimes not daily, but sometimes weekly, or however often you have contact with your loved one, how to best navigate that system. And so they teach you that, and they teach you a lot of other things that are so helpful, like diagnosis and medicines and communication skills. Those things are just absolutely paramount in doing the very best you can. Then the other class that we have is what we call peer-to-peer, and that is people that have a mental health issue or mental health concern. It's for them, and they're taught by people that have a mental health concern or mental illness that are in recovery. So you have a peer, you have the peers are teaching peers, and their class is set up just exactly like what the Family to Family is, only it's addressing their life, their illnesses, their medications, their treatment, you know, ways to communicate, you know, so all of those things are taught in those classes. And the classes are coming up in September, starting in September. They're 8-week classes. They meet once a week. And so for the peer-to-peer, those classes start on Thursday, September 22nd, and it runs through November 10th. And they're at our NAMI office, and they run from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. And then the Family to Family starts on September 14th and goes through November 2nd, the very same time from 6, well, the time's a little different, from 6 to 8:30, so they go a little bit longer. And it's at our office. And the best way to get all this information about the classes is, once again, go to NAMIBillings at, help me,
I think it's NAMIBillings.org.
Yes,
for that.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is. It's NAMIBillings.org, and I just got
okay.
confused here a minute.
You're entitled,
I know,
Patty.
I get anxious, and then that's what happens. So anyway, just go to NAMIBillings.org, and if you just scroll down, they'll have all the education classes. I was on there yesterday. It's the very first thing you're going to see. You click on that, and it will tell you how to register for the classes. It will give you all the instructions of where our office is at and all those kinds of things. And then our programs coordinator, Terry Ball, is going to give you a call, and he's going to talk to you, or he will call you, or one of the people that will be your teacher will give you a call and will talk with you. So there'll be some actual telephone call with someone from our office just to kind of get everything set up. So once again, if you want to donate or sponsor us in our NAMIWalks effort for our fundraising, you go to NAMIBillings.org and click on the button that says fundraising or NAMIWalks. And then if you would like to be in, register for our classes, the very same, you go to NAMIBillings.org and go to the class that you would like to join and click on that, and you can be registered. So I just want to thank you, Mary Karen, for being.
My pleasure.
And that you and I could just have this back and forth conversation about something that we hold dear to our hearts.
Yes.
And I want to thank our viewers for watching us and learning about NAMIWalks. And I'm hoping that in some way you would feel like you might want to join us either at the walk or in donating or just in any way. And if you have any questions or you want to learn more about NAMI, please get on our website, and our phone number is there. You can call and talk with us. But we would just love to get, have you call or come and talk with us about what we do. And thank you ever so much.